The refugee transport Halcyon Way carried 12,000 human souls and one infant who would cost the galaxy its oldest criminal empire. A plasma blade carved through the hull. Smoke boiled into the corridor, and through it came the Vorsa Syndicate.
Human infant, female, approximately 4 months. Match to the private bid. Bring her.
No, please, take me instead. She's just a baby. Please.
Zorak's hand closed around the infant. Emily's fingers tore, her screams swallowed by the smoke as he turned away.
The bidding starts at 20 million credits. She'll fetch double by morning.
The Vorsa cruiser detached and burned hard for the jump gate, leaving the Halcyon Way adrift with its survivors and one mother clutching an empty sling.
They didn't even blindfold me. I know the ship's name. I know the captain's face.
She had no weapon, no military training. She had something far more dangerous. A name and the unspent fury of 11,000 stolen babies.
They think I'm broken. They don't know what a mother with a spreadsheet can do.
43 hours without sleep. She docked at Outpost Sigma with nothing but the empty carrier and a name. She entered the intelligence wing still wearing the smeared tears of the transport. No one stopped her.
You are Axel Winter, Earth Intelligence. I need the buyer who took my daughter 4 hours ago.
Buyers are classified. You have no clearance.
I am her mother. Find the transaction, or I'll stay here until your system crashes.
Axel saw the empty sling, the unmoving jaw. He turned to his console and worked through the night. By morning, a data chip held the buyer's alias, redacted, and a financial trail leading to a remote sector.
This is classified. If you are caught, I'll deny everything. Don't expect backup.
I don't need backup. I need a starting point.
She left, the chip secure in her fist, the name carved into her mind. The buyer was no longer a ghost. The nearest spaceport was a grimy hub on Callisto III. She paid for a public terminal booth and loaded the chip.
The alias traces to a shell company, but shells have cracks if you know where to look.
She applied refugee agency forensic protocols, algorithms that reconstructed hidden ownership from financial noise.
This account routed payments to a slaver front on Karos. Sloppy laundering. They never expected an accountant to follow.
2 hours deeper, she found a file, a child's abduction record. 2 years old, same syndicate branding.
Another mother. Another empty carrier. This is a system, not a single buyer.
She compiled a list of 5 shell corporations that funded the purchase order, each a thread to pull.
I am sending this to a contact address. I was told to use only if I found proof. I have proof now.
The packet went out, encrypted and undetectable, to an inbox that hadn't been accessed in 3 years. The message was away. Now she could only wait, and the waiting was a new kind of agony. The reply came to a dead drop on the station. Coordinates, a shipyard on Verdon's moon. She went without pausing to breathe.
You are the accountant who sent the list.
You lost a child, too. I saw the record.
3 years ago. Sadie was taken from a station nursery. We've been waiting for someone who could follow the money.
He led her to a cluttered table draped in shadows and unrolled a schematic of a Vorsa safe house. She placed the data chip beside it.
That's the front company's local manager. His location is on there.
That night, 6 shadows slipped through a service entrance. No alarms, no shots. The Vorsa operatives simply stopped mid-shift. When the safe house was swept an hour later, it was empty. Beds made, maids made, meals cooling on plates. No sign of struggle.
1 down.
Now, we follow the next name. Then the one after that. Until there are none left.
In the syndicate's corporate towers, executives stared at frozen ledgers. Shell companies had been unraveled by a forensic pattern no one recognized.
The records. All of them. And the Karos access codes.
One of their supply ships was found adrift. No damage, no bodies, just an empty bridge.
3 more cells went dark last night. No warnings, no survivors.
Zorak's jaw clicked. He dismissed the report, but his hand tightened on the armrest. Under pressure, A syndicate accountant revealed the buyer had purchased a private moon in the Outer Rim.
A moon. He bought a moon to hide her.
She compiled the final list, 20 syndicate leaders, each with hands in child trafficking. Ben's network was ready to move.
20 names. That's a lot of blood.
It's not blood. It's a balance sheet. And every entry is about to be zeroed out.
She fed the purchase data into a registration cross-check. A location surfaced. Nythera Station, a known slaver transfer point.
That's where they processed her. I am going.
She booked a cargo hauler. But the registry query had triggered a syndicate tripwire. Zorak's kill team was already waiting when she stepped off. From the shadows, Ben's people opened cover fire. 2 operatives grabbed Emily and hauled her into a maintenance shaft as the hangar erupted. A retreating network fighter tossed a jammer, and the station's comms went dead. Emily was shoved into a freight lift, gasping. Aboard his flagship, Zorak received the failed hit report. His cybernetic jaw ground audibly.
A human woman with no weapon? Her head is now worth 20 million credits.
In a maintenance corridor, Emily broke into a station relay and downloaded the buyer's personal ledger, a heavily encrypted file that could unmask him.
Take the data and go dark. Don't move for 2 days. We'll sanitize your trail.
She secured the chip inside her plate carrier and vanished into the station's underlevels. The ledger was a locked door, but she'd find the key. For 2 days, Emily and a network hacker peeled the ledger's encryption. The buyer's private file was a catalog of acquisitions, art, genetic rarities, and human children.
He doesn't just traffic children, he collects them. Lena is specimen 13.
Ben arrived, and her screen froze on an entry. S. Carter, female, age 4. His daughter, Sadie, had been logged by the same buyer.
The same buyer. All this time, and she was in his file.
He's a collector, Ben. If he suspects his collection is compromised, he might cut losses, move or destroy the evidence.
She cross-referenced shipping, manifests, and property trusts. 3 private estates surfaced, each heavily shielded.
We can hit all 3 simultaneously, but our teams will be stretched thin.
Can we afford not to? Every hour we wait, she could be moved.
No more waiting. We've had 3 years of waiting. Give the order.
Emily loaded the 3 coordinates into the network's tactical channel. The noose around the buyer's collection was about to tighten. Before the raids could launch, a network family on Verdan was hit. Vorsa enforcers took Dylan, 17, and broadcast a single demand.
The accountant surrenders, or the boy dies at midnight.
They think they can force my hand with a hostage. They've never faced an accountant who can rewrite their ledgers. I am not giving myself up, but I can give them something they'll believe. Access to the Syndicate's frozen slush funds.
She opened a channel to Zorak, the decrypted ledger keys pulsing on her screen.
You want me? Fine. But I want the boy back first. Here is a taste. Access to one of your frozen accounts.
Zorak laughed, but as the single account blinked open, Emily's algorithm began to drain every other syndicate account in real time.
You are stealing from me.
In the confusion, Ben's team followed the fund reversal trail to a holding cell. Dylan was pulled free, unharmed. Syndicate liquid reserves collapsed. Across 6 sectors, Vorsa assets froze. Zorak's assets froze. Zorak's council howled for explanations. Network agents planted a false credit trail linking the attacks to a rival syndicate. Zorak's enforcers bit hard, buying Emily 36 hours of confusion.
They're chasing ghosts. Now I finish what I started.
She cross-referenced artifact registries with planetary trusts. One aristocrat had purchased a private moon mere days before the Halcyon Way raid.
He calls himself the Curator. His moon is a fortress, energy shields, automated turrets, and a panic room.
Can we crack it?
The moon's surface was a perpetual twilight, ringed by missile platforms, a vault for stolen children, orbiting a dead star. Emily transferred the tactical schematics to Ben's console. A frontal assault would be suicide. They needed a distraction.
We've got a captured syndicate shuttle. You'll fly in as a decoy, while we breach the service hangar.
I'll be the bait. Just get me inside.
The network moved into position, the moon's orbit teeming with automated patrols. The assault would be their largest yet, and there would be no second chance. The captured shuttle, its IFF codes, still live, slipped past the moon's outer patrols and docked inside a service hangar.
Go. Go now.
A network engineer sacrificed their last scrambler to blind the estate's alert grid, giving the team a window to breach.
The nursery is in the North Tower. I can see its feed now.
They sprinted through alien gardens, past sculptures and bio-cages, shadows flickering across manicured paths. Then the security AI rebooted. Drones dropped from the ceiling, plasma bolts turning the air to static.
Cover fire. Emily, take the left corridor. We'll hold them.
Emily ran alone, the empty carrier bouncing against her thigh, the map uploaded to her HUD showing the nursery at the far end.
There, the double doors. The estate's main building.
The building loomed through a glassed colonnade, dark and silent. Behind her, gunfire echoed. She pushed forward. The study was a vault of shadows and rare displays. On the central wall, a live feed showed Lena sleeping in a plush crib.
She's alive. She's right there.
You made impressive time, Accountant. But I knew you were coming since you left that outpost. I paid one of Axel's clerks for your query. This estate has been waiting for you.
The doors sealed with a magnetic hiss. From hidden vents, a pale gas began to curl into the room.
Trap. My comm is dead. Ben can't hear me.
Outside, Ben's team was pinned behind a collapsed archway, drones swarming the corridor. He couldn't advance. Emily's knees buckled as the gas overwhelmed her. The last thing she saw was the buyer's silhouette, motionless.
Good night, Accountant. Your daughter will remain a fine addition to my collection.
The carrier. I still have the carrier, and he doesn't know about the tooth.
She woke in a white cell, restraints pinning her wrists to a metal chair. The empty baby carrier still hung from her rig.
He didn't take the carrier. He still thinks I am just a desperate mother.
The door slid open, and the buyer stepped in, his violet eyes alive with mockery. He circled her chair like a collector inspecting an artifact.
I am curious. What kind of human soldier are you? Your assault was creative, but you are no commando.
I am a forensic accountant for the UN Refugee Agency.
An accountant? You dismantled my guards with paperwork.
He launched into a monologue about the purity of his collection, the rarity of certain genetic lines. Emily listened, and under the chair, she bit down on her back tooth.
Beacon active. Ben will have my location in seconds.
The buyer, oblivious, finished his speech and signaled his guards. Prepare the specimen for transport. I am relocating the collection. He left without a backward glance. Deep in the estate's underbelly, Ben's communicator chirped with a single pulsing dot. Emily's signal, live and unbroken. The beacon locked on Emily's cell block. Ben signaled his team, and a remote charge detonated against the fusion core. The generator blew. A shockwave rippled through the estate, extinguishing lights and sending guards reeling in confusion. Ben's team breached the detention wing, cutting down 2 guards before they could sound an alarm.
Breach the cell. Emily, we're coming.
The door blew inward. Emily stood, freed from the chair, her wrists raw. The empty carrier still swung at her side.
Terminal. Get me a terminal. He's moving Lena.
She grabbed a guard's datapad, plugged into the estate network, and downloaded the buyer's private records.
Panic room schematics. Lena is in the east wing behind triple blast doors.
Ben pressed a sidearm into her palm. She checked the magazine out of habit, a habit she never had before this. They moved into the smoke-choked corridor, the map guiding them east, toward the nursery, and the end of this. The east corridor ended at a vaulted blast door, its seals glowing with red security locks. Inside, the panic room was silent.
Open the door, Curator. Your accounts are frozen. Your guards are gone. There's no extraction coming.
You don't understand. I have the child. If you breach, I'll trigger the failsafe.
Your failsafe is linked to accounts with zero balance. I drained every credit you own. The syndicate can't pay the pilot.
Silence. Then the locks disengaged one by one, a deep mechanical clunk echoing through the corridor. The door swung inward. The buyer stood behind a transparent barrier, his hands trembling. Beyond him, Lena slept in an ornate crib.
I can give you other collectors, names you haven't found. Just let me leave with my private collection.
No.
She lifted Lena from the crib, and the baby cooed, unharmed. Tears cut through Emily's skull of paint, but her voice stayed ice.
Ben, I have her. Move in.
Ben's team swept the panic room. The buyer shrank back as cuffs clicked around his slender wrists. Emily clutched Lena against her plate carrier, the baby's tiny fist wrapped around her mother's thumb.
Hey, baby. I am here. I am here.
A network operative secured a data uplink. The buyer's entire roster, names, locations, financial pipes, streamed to galactic authorities.
Everything. We're sending everything.
The buyer was hooded and marched out past the ornate cribs of his collection. His name already purged from every record. Outside, the moon's surface glowed orange with the fires of a dying syndicate. The escape shuttles queued up, but this time they carried only the rescued.
She's been in this carrier for weeks. Now she's back where she belongs.
It's not over. Zorak is still out there.
Then we'll find him. But first, we go home.
While Emily's shuttle left the moon, coordinated strikes hit 37 Vorsa operations across 6 sectors. Every safe house went dark. Zorak's flagship drifted alone in high orbit. Half his crew had already fled, but the bridge smelled of burnt circuits and desperation. Through a captured shuttle's codes, network operatives ghosted into the hangar. No alarm, just a soft decompression, then boots on grating. Crew surrendered in corridors, hands raised, weapons clattering to the deck. The network didn't fire, only gestured toward the escape pods.
Get back! I am Zorak. I've conquered worlds. I won't be taken by accountants.
Zorak, your syndicate is dead. Surrender now, and you'll see a courtroom or burn with your ship.
Then burn. I'll take the planet with me. Self-destruct.
The countdown started, but network engineers had already bridged the system. They rerouted the overload to a controlled reactor breach. The crew had already evacuated. Zorak stood alone, roaring at empty screens as the reactor went critical. The eternal scourge tipped into the atmosphere, a bright line cutting through the sky. The Vorsa Syndicate was no more. From the safety of a high-orbit viewing deck, Emily watched the flagship's silhouette crack apart against the gas giant's atmosphere. There was no sound, just a white-hot line spreading into a silent bloom, then fading to orange embers.
That's it. That's the end of them.
Lena stirred, a tiny fist waving, and Emily pulled the carrier closer. Tucking the blanket,
It's over, baby. No more running.
she didn't feel triumph, just exhaustion, the kind that sinks into bones after 71 sleepless days.
I could sleep for a year.
The empty carrier swung at her thigh. Now a promise kept. She stepped into the shuttle and keyed the autopilot for a slow burn home.
No triumph, just enough.
Aboard the shuttle, with her daughter breathing softly against her chest, Emily Vance closed her eyes for the first time in weeks. While Emily slept, the Galactic Council convened in sealed session. Hundreds of species, silent. No agenda, no debate, just a single file. The file contained everything: ledgers, the buyer's private collection, the auction records, and the faces of 912 human children. The chamber went deathly still. Even the most jaded delegates stiffened. No one spoke. A resolution lit the central dais. Not for debate, for vote. Resolution 7749 Alpha. Henceforth, no human child shall be listed on any sentient market. Violation will constitute an act of piracy against Terra. Hands rose, tentacles, claws, manipulator appendages, every delegation, no exceptions. The vote was sealed and unanimous. No speeches, no applause, just the quiet click of official consensus. The holographic plaque solidified at the center of the chamber, glowing gold in the empty air. The delegates filed out without a word. The resolution would never be publicly debated. It didn't need to be, only the plaque remained, its text burning steadily, a warning that would stand for as long as the Council existed. At last, the shuttle docked on a quiet colony world. Emily carried Lena into the modest apartment she'd left months ago. A blinking light on her datapad, a coded message from Axel. The file was closed. Emily Vance, your daughter is safe. The Council voted. The buyer will never see daylight. Your file is closed.
Axel, still giving her nothing but facts. She'd never thank him, and he'd never need it.
She set the datapad down and walked to Lena's crib. The baby slept, one tiny fist curled. In the bathroom, she faced the mirror. The skull paint was a mask she'd worn for 71 days. She dipped her fingers into the pigment and repainted the lines, slower than ever. The white settled into the creases beside her eyes, and a tear came, unbidden. The tear carved through the fresh paint, a clean line down her cheek. She turned on the water and washed it all away, the white swirling gray and vanishing. The news crawled across the bottom of her terminal. Unnamed buyer detained. Resolution 7749 Alpha in effect. Ben Carter appeared at her cubicle one afternoon. He looked older, but lighter, the weight of waiting finally gone.
Thought you should have this.
It was Sadie. The photo he'd kept on his wall for 3 years, now a gift to the woman who'd given him justice.
I'll put it where it belongs.
Ben nodded and left without another word. The network was dissolving, quietly, as it had always existed. She sat back at her terminal, the refugee intake database open. The world had not stopped needing her skills. A coworker paused by her partition. You were gone a while. Everything okay?
Yes. Everything is exactly where it should be.
Then she opened a new spreadsheet and began to type. Years later, on a colony world with warm twin suns, Emily sat on a park bench and watched Lena, now a toddler, pick flowers in the grass.
That's a pretty one, baby. Bring it here.
Lena toddled over, a tiny yellow flower clutched in her fist, and dropped it into Emily's lap with a triumphant coo.
For me. Thank you, sweetheart.
Emily lifted her daughter onto the bench and kissed the top of her head, breathing in the scent of grass and baby shampoo. Above them, the sky held a faint silver scar, the debris ring of the eternal scourge, still glinting in the light of the dying suns. Emily didn't look up. She didn't need to. Her eyes stayed on Lena.
She'll never know. The galaxy learned, and that's enough.
They sat together as the sky deepened to twilight, Lena's laughter mingling with the wind, and the mother who had once held an empty carrier held only a hand, small fingers wrapped tightly around hers. The park stretched out beneath the sky's permanent scar, a debris ring that would never let the galaxy forget. Next to them, the woven carrier lay empty on the bench, its purpose fulfilled. A butterfly rested on its edge. Emily stood and lifted Lena onto her hip, beginning the walk home through the tall grass. Lena pointed at the glittering ring and laughed, her voice a bright sound against the quiet evening. Emily only smiled. She did not look up. She had already seen enough of the sky, in the quiet of the twilight, with the ring gleaming above. The lesson hung in the air. The galaxy learned that day. Every human child has a mother, and some mothers keep spreadsheets. The image faded slowly, the ring becoming the only light, and the universe, once taught, never forgot.